let's take a minute to talk about that, because the tech stocks had a huge run, whether you're talking old tech or new tech. Old tech in our world is stuff like IBM, Cisco, Intel, companies that have been around for a very long time. Their growth rates are somewhat lower than new tech. And new tech is a set of companies that are not all in the tech sector. They're actually in many sectors. You got Amazon, Facebook, Google, Netflix, etc. Companies are harnessing the internet to reach consumers or to provide business-to-business service. And the OGIG stocks have a revenue growth rate that is in the area of 40%. It's 2 to 3 times higher than the revenue growth rate of the stocks in the tech sector and stocks in the NASDAQ 100 index. And so, Kevin, you talk about it being a pure growth vehicle, and yes, it is, because the stocks are selected for revenue growth, which our research shows is very important for just called performance of these kinds of stocks. What's your comment on your mix of growth investing? Where do you see growth in the economy coming from? Why do you allocate so much to OGIG?
There's a massive digital change going on. I call it the digital pivot. It's a global phenomenon. What's occurred as a result of the pandemic, the acceleration of direct-to-consumer digital models is prevalent everywhere, in every jurisdiction, every geography. And the technology that allowed that, including what we're using right now to speak to each other, is built by private companies and public companies that have made it possible to digitize. And so OGIG is actually, the way I call it, FANG on steroids, because yes, I own the FANG stocks and they're inside of OGIG, but there's so many other companies all around the world that provide these technologies in their own geographic markets, and they're behemoths, they're huge. And I would encourage everybody to go look at what's inside of OGIG, because it represents the future in terms of growth. These are companies that are allowing the efficiency of digitization to occur in every economy in the world. And that phenomenon is not changing. The whole idea of, stay away from work or work at home stocks, that means nothing now, because every company is digitizing that's successful. Every company wants a direct relationship with their customer. Every company is trying to solve supply chain problems. And all of that technology is built by the companies held inside the OGIG index. And for me, that's a 20% weighting in terms of my portfolio, and it will remain so. That's the core of my growth. And I'm happy to own FANG stocks, but they are not the fastest growing companies anymore. A lot of people are surprised to see that. They're good and they service the American market, but growth is happening in other places much faster, more cash flow, more margin. And you'll find those names, some you haven't heard of, some you have, they're all inside of OGIG.